In solo leveling, after the chairman of the Hunter Association gave Sung Jin-Woo documents containing multiple top countries like the USA, Japan, China that wanted to meet his drippiness. The chairman said that he'd do anything in his power to provide him with all the resources he requires for him to at least consider staying in South Korea. He said that the country had 10 official S ranks, including him, but they lost 3 since 2 died in the Jeju raids, while 1 left for the United States. The association can't afford to keep ignoring this matter, and because of that, he asks Jin-Woo to let him know how he can please him. Jin-Woo looks down, saying, "Then in that case, I'd like to enter high-ranking gates alone from now on." The chairman gets shocked hearing this, asking if he's saying he wants him to remove the minimum capacity requirement. Jin-Woo confirms, saying that's exactly what he wants. The chairman states how that law was put in place for the safety of the hunters because it prevents overconfident hunters from walking into a dungeon just to get themselves killed. Abolishing that rule would be a problem. The chairman realizes something and asks Papa Woo if that's the reason he had created a guild, and he confirms it. Jin-Woo tells him if he's asking for too much. The chairman smiles at the thought of a one-man assault squad, saying that even though it'll be difficult, it's not impossible. "You can leave it to me," he said. After the celebrity Soo-hyun got done with a photo shoot, she received a phone call. It turned out to be her cousin Jin-ho, asking if she wanted to join his guild, saying that he wouldn't make her do any work, so it'd be better to join him instead of being an ambassador for his father's guild instead. She responds, saying she's confused about all the guild talk, and asks if he's heard that his sister Jin-hee is returning to Korea. Jin-ho responds, saying of course he knew, but never mind that since he needs one more founding member right now. She said that if he's asking her to join a guild that hasn't even been formed yet, and if he's sure he isn't just being scammed by a random. Jin-ho responds, saying that she'd be shocked to hear who this random actually is. She asked, "Who is it?" Back in the Papa Woo's guild office, Jin-Woo asks if this was the person he was talking about. He responds, saying it is, and introduces her as his cousin, saying that she's a certified A rank. She's surprised by the fact that she's looking at the one and only Sung Jin-Woo with her own eyes right now. "Wow, I can't believe I'm looking at Jin-Woo right now," she said. Jin-ho asks her what she was talking about since she's the one who's supposed to be the celebrity here. Jin-Woo questions if she's an A-rank hunter. Soo-hyun responds, saying of course she'd be excited to meet the drippiest hunter who had vanished after ruining Min Sung's press conference. This guy right here, who was also a celebrity, turned hunter who was pooping his pants during the Jeju raid. Since Jin-ho is a D rank, while his cousin is an A rank, Jin-Woo questions if genetics play a part in the awakening process. But it made sense since there are cases where both sibling awaken, and his daddy was also a hunter. "So I presume Jin-ho explained everything already?" Jin-Woo asked. Soo-hyun responded, saying she understood that they needed another founding member to start the guild. Jin-Woo warns her that joining his guild would cause quite a stir, asking if she's okay with that. She responds, saying that anything was better than getting mixed up with Jin-sung. "Jin-sung?" Jin-Woo asked. Jin-ho whispers in his ear, telling him that was his older brother. Jin-Woo remembers saying he's the one with the bad personality. Soo-hyun asks Jin-Woo a very important question. She asks him if he would mind taking a selfie with her so she could post it on Instagram. "Are you out of your mind?" someone yelled. The senator shouted, saying if he really wanted for Jin-Woo's shadow soldiers to be recognized as members of an assault squad, saying it was complete and utter nonsense. He said that the regulation was put in place as soon as Jin-Woo established his guild, telling him this was clear preferential treatment towards him. He shouted, saying that the Hunter Association existed for the good of all hunters, and not just Sung Jin-Woo telling the chairman to explain himself. "Yes, you are absolutely right," the chairman said with a smile. "This is indeed preferential treatment." The chairman asked the whispering people to let him cook, giving them a scenario. "You have the option of an assault squad consisting of 20 A-rank hunters, or the squad of just Sung Jin-Woo himself. If you could only deploy one of these teams into a dungeon break zone, which one would you choose?" he asked Congress. The chairman said how he heard that the senator had moved to a new apartment near the Hunters Guild and asked him why he moved there since the prices on the houses there are much higher than other areas. The senator gets stunned by this question, saying that was unrelated to, it was for safety reasons, wasn't it? The chairman told him. He said how it was the same for everyone else in the country. Anyone with enough money would want to move somewhere safer. The chairman gives him a cold look, saying that guilds all over the world are desperate to get their hands on Drip Woo, and asks him if he would want to remain in a country that is unwilling to compromise with him. Do you want us to make the same mistake twice? The chairman asked, saying that if he thinks this preferential treatment is unreasonable, he pleads with him to think about who will save his life when another S-rank gate appears here in Korea. Someone can be seen looking at her phone with the selfie Soo-hyun posted next to Drippy Woo captioned, "First day at Ajin Guild." The one who is looking at the picture is none other than Mommy Cha Hye-in, trembling with jealousy as a storm rumbles outside her house. The next day, Jin-ho can be seen in absolute shock, saying he's never seen anything like this. "This gate is massive!" he shouted. He would have flipped out if he saw the one in Busan, Jin-Woo thought to himself. Reporters crowd Drip Woo, taking pictures of him, asking how he felt about going on the Ajin Guild's first raid. "Why did you name your guild Ajin? What's your relationship with your guild member Soo-hyun?" they ask as the association agents try to block them. Drip Woo asks Jin Chul that he thought the association was keeping his personal information private, asking why the reporters were here. Jin Chul responds, saying that they are protecting his personal information, but can't stop the public from knowing the location of gates, saying that he should be careful of what gets posted on social media from now on, reminding him that Soo-hyun posted that picture on Instagram. "I'll keep that in mind," he replied. Jin-ho says that if they should call a hauling team or a mining team because he doesn't think he can handle everything himself, but Drip Woo tells him he doesn't need to worry since his shadow soldiers would be doing all the work. As Jin Chul reads his scanner, he's surprised by the fact that all of his summons are B rank or higher, saying that a squad like that is overqualified for a raid permit into an A rank gate. He then hands the scanner over to the other agents, thinking to himself that Papa Wu made complete fools of everyone who were debating that this was preferential treatment. Jin Chul suddenly started taking off his blazer, surprising both Jin-ho and Jin-Woo. He said that he was ordered by the chairman to observe the raid to see if this really was a safe idea, asking if it would be okay for him to be the representative of the inspection team just for today. Drip Woo responds, saying, "Would you really be okay?" "Pardon?" Jin Chul responds. 5 minutes later, Jin Chul is in absolute shock at what he sees in front of him. A Naga who's an A-rank monster getting absolutely toyed with by regular soldiers. Tank and Iron One tapping the monsters with ease. The High Orc thrusts his sword into their corpse. Baru decapitates one in the fraction of a second. Even veteran hunters who have exceptional combat and magic skills would struggle against these guys, Jin Chul thought to himself. Which shocked Jin Chul, because even veteran hunters with exceptional skills would still struggle against one of them. "That one is especially powerful," he said, while Igris was walking towards the monsters while exuding aura upon aura. Igris slashed at his side, launching a huge lightning attack. Jin Chul is shocked, since only mages of the highest level could wield lightning magic, but Igris can use it every single time he swings his sword. The lightning attack is about to make impact in the direction of the monsters, slashing every single one of them like butter. The lightning explodes everything in sight, disintegrating the monsters in the fraction of a second. Is it A rank? No, it's probably higher. Jin Chul thinks to himself in absolute disbelief of what's happening in front of him. He asked himself if he could win if they fought in a one-on-one, but we all know he would have gotten stomped on. Here we see a peaceful shadow ant trying to munch on a monster's head. But Drippy Woo comes out of nowhere, kicking the innocent ant, making it hit the wall. "I told you not to eat those," he said, asking if he knew how valuable those corpses were, and ordered the others to keep on mining them mana crystals. Since he's capable of clearing dungeons, retrieving corpses, and mining mana crystals, he isn't just a one-man assault squad, but a completely automated raid machine. Jin Chul says how he now understands why the chairman asked him to observe him today. Suddenly, the boss of the dungeon appeared standing 30 feet tall in front of Papa Wu. "Those of you who are still working can stay. The rest of you return," Drip Wu commanded. Quickly, shadows start swarming beneath his feet, surprising Jin-Chul. "Why do you have the other soldiers go away?" he asked, saying that his summons would have been able to take down the boss easily. But as Jin-Woo pulls out his dagger, he says, "Relying too much on my shadows makes me lose my touch." Drip Wu takes a step forward, launching himself towards the beast with immeasurable speed. As he's zooming through the air, he slashes the monster's cranium in half with negative difficulty, leaving Jin-Chul astonished with his jaw wide open. As the boss's body crashes on the floor, he manages to level up, making him level 101, leveling up most of his job-specific skills like Shadow Summon, Shadow Storage, Monarch's Domain, and lastly, Shadow Exchange. He's surprised by the fact that all of his job skills leveled up, but what he's most excited about is the cooldown for the skill Shadow Exchange went down by an hour. Since the cooldown of the skill goes down by an hour every time he levels up, soon he'd be able to go anywhere in the world without worrying about the safety of her mother and sister. Still shocked by the fact that Drip Wu had managed to pierce the Naga's scales, who are tough enough to be used as shields or armor with just 2 daggers, he had noticed something. Rizzy Wu stood before the corpse saying the word, "Wakey, wakey," and extracts the shadow straight out of the corpse. The shadow turned out to be the same rank as Tusk, and as its level was 13, he assumes it'd be as strong as it was alive, but it was way smaller than when he was alive, stating that shadows usually stay the same size or grow bigger after extraction. Though luckily, the amount of mana it's emitting is enormous, estimating it to be at least as strong as Tusk. Jin-Woo thought that maybe it can grow in size just like Tusk using magic, so maybe this was its original size. Either way, it's a huge addition to his collection. The system prompts him to choose a name for his soldier, and he goes with the name Jima. Jinho in the background over here glazing him, saying he's truly incredible. The cave suddenly starts rumbling and tells Jin-Woo that they should get going. While staring at the boss's corpse, he asks himself what he should do with it. Outside the gate, reporters are in utter shock as red feet step out of the gate. It turned out to be Tusk, but one of the reporters yelled, "Run!" But another sensible reporter spoke, saying it was Drip Wu's shadow soldier, making everyone surprised that he already had cleared the gate. "Quick, take a picture!" they yelled as they snapped photos of him, making Tusk just a little bit shy. Jinho and Jin-Woo step out of the gate, saying how there were even more reporters here then when they went inside. In the background, Jin-Chul can be seen looking like he got the life sucked out of him. "And that's what happened, Chairman." He spoke in a sickly manner. The chairman sighs, saying that he's seen so many different raids over the years, but after hearing his report, it's understandable as to why he looked like he's about to kick the bucket. Jin-Chul responds, saying what he witnessed wasn't a raid, but a complete massacre. The chairman looks at him seriously, saying that he should get some rest. He looks outside his window, thinking to himself that Papa Wu cleared an A-rank dungeon, retrieved the monster corpses, and mined crystals all on his own. He said how calling him a one-man assault squad is an understatement since he's a one-man guild. This thought made the chairman smile, saying that he wasn't wrong about him after all. The hunters from all over the world are about to see the tides turn, he said. At the same time, in Tokyo, Japan, civilians can be seen in utter shock looking up at the sky. They can't seem to believe their eyes, saying, "Oh my God." An absolutely humongous gate had appeared right above the city. Hit that follow thing.